Ciao a tutti e benvenuti. Welcome to lesson 18, where we're talking about plurals in Italian. We actually already taught how they work, but I want to go a little deeper to talk about a topic that nobody teaches when they're teaching Italian, but I must. It's my job to share a little scenario that you will not potentially assume that that's how it works. So let's have a look. In Italian, the articles are chosen to simplify the sound of the pronunciation of the two words that are together. So what does that mean? Well, the reason we say l'apostrophe amico is because it just sounds nicer to say l'amico than il amico. We say lo as the article in front of straniero because it sounds nicer and it's easier to say lo straniero than it is to say il straniero. And so on for all the articles. So they're chosen for that reason because they are two words coming together. Just like in English, you say an apple, you don't say a apple, because it just sounds better to say an apple. So that's the idea that you have already assimilated. So we have lo studente, gli gnocchi, lo psicologo. Now we all argue that gli gnocchi doesn't sound easier than I gnocchi, but that's how the language has evolved to doing this, and so we accept it. Gli italiani, l'amico. So these are words that we have looked in previous lessons. So l'artista. So you see that it's the fact that we need an article before artista that we end up choosing l'apostrophe. We need an article before gnocchi, so we choose gli because that's the one that we should use. Same for psicologo. So it's because of the word that we're looking at and the fact that we need a word right before. What happens when you separate the article from the noun? And that's a big question that nobody is there to answer it. I can see why you would be asking that, and that's why I'm bringing it up to you. Because some people come to believe that straniero owns lo, meaning straniero and lo, they go hand in hand. That's how you say straniero. Straniero has married lo. They're always together. They are unbreakable, inseparable. And that's not the case. The reason why we use lo is because it comes right before straniero. But if we put something in between, things change. And I'm going to show you today how they change. It's a very interesting topic. If we want to say this student was good, like it's a good student, you'd say it first. Well, you put the adjective after the noun, so you would say lo studente bravo. That's how you would say the good student, lo studente bravo. But in Italian, we have the option for some adjectives, to put them before the noun to create a little bit of emphasis. So we are being a little poetic. So in standard Italian, you would say lo studente bravo, the good student. But in some scenarios, you will find that it's a bit more impactful to put the adjective before, and over time you will learn to do it. Okay, I'm using the example to show you that the moment I put bravo before studente, now the article, it's not lo, because bravo doesn't work with lo. Do you need to say lo bravo? No, bravo is not one of those exception words. The article for a word that starts with b, like bravo, is il. So il bravo studente. And so this shows you that studente hasn't married lo. They just hang out together, then lo and studente sounds good. You choose the article based on the noun. And so you're talking about a student, you need to have an article that is masculine and singular. You're not going to put la if you're talking about a student. La bravo studente would be wrong because you're talking about a male student here. So il bravo studente. So let's work with gnocchi. So the standard correct Italian for gnocchi is gli gnocchi, the gnocchi, like gli gnocchi. If they're good, then I would say gli gnocchi buoni. But now you do it. It might not be the easiest thing, so pause the video and try. What I would like you to say is the good gnocchi, but put buoni before gnocchi. How would that look like? Is it going to be gli buoni gnocchi or something else? It's going to be I buoni gnocchi, because buoni is not an exception word. And so while I'm using an article for masculine plural, because gnocchi is masculine plural, I'm using the standard article I because I'm not putting the article right before a strange word. See what's happening? Let's do another one. Lo psicologo. Lo psicologo. Lo psicologo famoso, that's a famous psychologist. What happens when you put famoso before psychologist? I know you got this one, right? Il famoso psicologo. Il famoso sounds good. Lo famoso doesn't make sense because why would we switch to lo when famoso doesn't pose any issue? It's not doesn't start with a vowel, it doesn't start with S and a consonant, doesn't start with Z, like it doesn't really have a reason to have lo, so we're going to use il. And we got one more, gli italiani, the Italians, gli italiani coraggiosi, the brave Italians. So what if you put coraggiosi before italiani? We would have I coraggiosi italiani, and not gli coraggiosi, because gli coraggiosi sounds horrible and we don't need it, right? Let's do a singular one. L'amico. L'amico mio. Now mio means my, and in Italian we will put that after the noun, l'amico mio, my friend. But what if you want to put mio before the noun, like you do in English, which is actually grammatically totally correct in Italian as well? Are we going to say l'apostrophe mio? Of course not. We will say il mio amico, my friend. Il mio, not il mio, which obviously would be ridiculous. L'artista. L'artista bello, the beautiful artist. Let's put bello before. Il bell'artista. Look at that. Bello has now shortened itself to bel apostrophe. How cool is that? Il bell'artista. Because it sounds a little bit better, but we're talking about the article, not bello, so it doesn't matter. And we're done for today. So very interesting topic. I hope it gave you a little bit of an idea of how to handle these scenarios. And I will see you in tomorrow's lesson, where we're going to do a little bit of practice with the Italian articles. I'm going to throw some words at you and you will have to put the articles on it. Now, of course, if you are enrolled in Beginner Italian Level 1, which is included in our unlimited all access membership, then you would have access to all of the resources, the dictation exercises, the comprehension videos, million other lessons. But tomorrow, we're doing some practice here, right here on YouTube.